Hello, my name is Nat Weeks, and we're here at the Hyatt, the Grand Hyatt in Lahaina on the island of Maui in Hawaii. And Manatech has brought about 600 of us here, the presidentials, as they do every year to some island in this wonderful chain. And so I just wanted to do a quick presentation for those of you who are interested, maybe not so much in feeling great or looking great, but in living well. A lot of us in this day and age, our health issues are financial, and we'd like to earn some more money. So we'll take a look at a couple of the legal and ethical ways of making money, and they basically break down into 5 categories. The first one is you can inherit a lot of money. You can win the lottery. You can win a lot of money from gambling, I suppose. You can just be given a lot of money. But when that happens, it doesn't last very long. Unless a person's developed some financial responsibility and self-discipline, it evaporates. It's spent on foolish things, and pretty soon a person's in worse problems than they were originally. And we've heard those stories all along. Generally speaking, we earn money. And the first thing we do to earn money is generally we get a job, and we're an employee. We get a little bit of training. Maybe after high school we take a job, or maybe we're hired after college. And there's not a whole lot we have to know beyond our specific discipline. And in the United States, the average income for an employee is about $38,000. That's about $3,166 a month. And that's kind of the worst category to be in, although it involves about 90% of us, because tax-wise, you can only deduct the interest on your mortgage. You can deduct your contributions to an IRA. You can deduct your dependents, of course, if you're married. And your donations to nonprofit organizations and your ties to your church and that sort of stuff. But if you don't have a home and you don't have dependents, if you aren't married, then that's kind of difficult. Now, what's interesting is all 5 of these categories, we share the same financial goals. I think that's kind of interesting. What we all want to accomplish is to become wealthy. And you know you're wealthy when your passive income exceeds your expenses. Now, I live in a nice neighborhood, and our neighbors have beautiful homes and RVs and boats and fancy cars. But who actually owns them is the bank, of course. And so they might be rich, but they aren't wealthy. Passive income would be money from investments. It could be money from a pension. It could be money from your rental properties, your bonds. It could be money from anything that doesn't take effort. In other words, it comes in regardless of whether or not you work. And that's kind of intriguing. And so that's our goal, because then when we have money, when we're wealthy, we can afford to retire. And we have extra money, we can give it away. Money's a good thing. I think the devil's had it long enough, and money can be used for a lot of good. Of course, it can be used for a lot of bad. If a person's wealthy, it simply highlights their character traits, which are there regardless of their financial level. And so I hope you don't have a hang-up with money. If you do, try and get over it, because money can be used for an awful lot of good. Now, a person who wants to become financially free so that they can retire by age 65, let's say, or earlier, if they're an employee, they're going to have some challenges, because if you want to maintain that level, that $38,000 a year, after you retire, you need to have saved $633,333 to get that every year at a 6% rate of return. I don't know where you would find that high rate of return at this point, but perhaps it's there. to save that amount of money over the 45 years that you're working from age 20 to 65, you'd have to put away about $14,074 a year. And that could be a little bit of a challenge for a number of us. Since that's not working so well, people then think about moving on to maybe setting up a sole proprietorship, a limited liability company, an S corporation perhaps. And the problem there is about 83% of them are gone in 5 years. And you'll see the turnover at the mall, at the shopping center, the stores downtown, and so that'd be a retail situation. You know, you might be selling hamburgers, you might be selling clothes or crafts or whatever, and in that situation, when you're self-employed, you're the last person to be paid, and you can deduct about 40% of your income because, unlike being an employee, you don't have income. You have actually revenue. Businesses make revenue, and that's not taxable. You get to first deduct your business expenses. And if you have a loss, you pay no taxes, and if you have a profit, you only pay taxes on the profit. And that's a good thing. So if you do it right, legally and ethically, you can cut your personal income taxes, usually about 40%. Nevertheless, let's say you're paying yourself at least $25,000 a year by hook or by crook, and to do that and retire on $25,000 a year, you need to have saved $416,666 if you can find a 6% rate of return anywhere. To do that over 45 years, you need to set aside $9,259. Of course, when you go into business for yourself, you need a lot more training. You need to know what you're doing in terms of hiring employees. You need to understand all the tax benefits, all the different laws. And that's quite a bit of a challenge, and that's why 90% of Americans are happy to be employees. Now, there is a third stage, because after a while people realize this isn't working so well, and 83% of them, as I mentioned, are bankrupt because when you go out of business, you still owe the bank, and so they end up taking your house, your cars, and all those other things. And so a lot of times people, if they can, they move into this next quadrant. And maybe they start a wholesale company, a business, like a C corporation or a limited partnership sort of a thing. And generally in that case, you're selling wholesale, a wholesale business as opposed to a retail business. And you know, you start out, and it's really tough now because the whole burden is on your shoulders, and you need a lot more education. Maybe you've gone to college and picked up a MBA, a Master's in Business Administration, and you've gotten a lot more training, and you're working late hours. You're the first one to work and the last one to leave, but to get the thing rolling, and 10 years down the road, you can spend your afternoons on the golf courses and increase your salary, and let's say you get to the point where you're making $200,000 a year. Well, when you retire, of course, you want to keep that lifestyle, but to continue to live on $200,000 a year at a 6% rate of return, you need to have saved $3,333,333. That means over the 45 years of your working career, you need to have set aside $14,066 $74,066 every year. I don't know how many of us are saving that kind of money. And so that can be a challenge. And that's one reason why Donald Trump and Warren Buffett and a lot of really successful and really smart businessmen have gotten involved in their fifth option, which is multi-level marketing, network marketing. Because there you can be making $200,000 very quickly. And when you retire, well, you don't need to retire because it's residual income. It keeps coming in after you've achieved time and financial freedom. Because residual income is like a royalty. If you write a book or you write some music, and every time somebody buys it, you get paid again. You do the work once, you're paid the rest of your life. And so that's good. It might cost, in the case of Manatech, it's $499 to get involved. You get about $620 worth of products, but you have huge possibilities. without a whole lot of upfront investment, and you don't need to, I mean, you can hit financial freedom very quickly. You don't have to wait till you're 65 years old. So let me show you basically how the payout works. As I mentioned, you come on board for the $4.99. That would give you $620 worth of products. That's about $121 free gift. And you get to pick the products you want. You get to customize the products you wish. And that would make you an all-star. Basically, you'd be a business builder. Now, all you have to do is find two people who are interested in making more money. And in this economy, that's probably not too difficult. A for Andy and B for Bob, let's say. And they're interested in making more money. And of course, the products are very good. And so all your product takers, the computer will place, but we don't necessarily focus on them. They just want to be left alone. They want to see if the products work, and that's fine. And we can come back to them and turn them into leaders when they get excited. But right from the get-go, you just find two business builders, and that's a $75 direct bonus based on the value of their kit, their all-star kit. And so with those two, Andy and Bob, I guess we said, that's $150. So by the end of your first week, you found your two, and now now you've earned $150. So your total balance at this point is a $349 loss. By the end of your first week, you still haven't made up your $4.99. Now the second week, you don't have to enroll anybody else. You're all done. You just found your two, and now all we do is help Andy and Bob find Karen or Kathy and Dave and Ernie and Frank. And so Andy just finds his two, and Bob finds his two, and that suffices. Now at that point, you've got two legs with 3 all-stars in this leg and 3 all-stars in that leg. And so that gives you a power bonus of $425. And if you do that, just find these 6 people within 3 full business periods of 28 days each, so you'd have basically 3 months, then you also get the fast start bonus, another $425. So by the end of your second week, you've made $850. At this point, your total so far of income is, or revenue I should say, is $1,000, and your balance puts you in the black. You have a profit of $501 by your second week. Now your third week, again, you don't have to enroll anybody new or find anybody new. You simply help Andy help his 2 people find their 2. So now Andy has 2 legs with 3 all-stars in his leg, because he was interested in the money you made last week, or that last month. And then Bob, he now has what you had. He's got his 2 legs with his team, 3 here and 3 on that side, and so that gives him his power bonus and his fast start bonus. So you, one level above, one genealogy above him, you get the first generational bonus, 1 generation up. So that's $800, 200 and 200 and 200 and 200. And so now, by the end of your third week, your total so far is $1,800. Your balance is you have a profit now of $1,301. Now you're paid every 28 days, a business period is 28 days, so your fourth week, you basically see to it that C's finding his 2, and D's finding his 2, and E's finding her 2, and F's finding her 2. And so that's, that's how the money works. And now you're 2 levels up from the people who are getting their power bonus and their fast start bonus. And so you get the second generation bonus, which is $100, $100, $100. There's another $800. So by the end of your final week, your fourth week, you have a total so far of $2,600 in revenue, a total balance of $2,101 of profit. So that's basically, you're going to get a check for $2,600 in the middle of the coming business period. The next business period, you'll get the check for $2,600, and this basically is a return on investment of 500% every month, every business period. That's phenomenal. You can't get that in real estate. You can't get that in the stock market. And so it's really a phenomenal way to do it. And what you have in terms of your business builders is about 30 different business builders. You now have 30 friends. You've basically gone finding two, and they're all leaders. They're all building the business. And if that was fun, you just start 2 more legs, and you develop more residual income and some incredibly explosive growth. And so that's really when the residual income really kicks in. And the way that works is when you have volume of $6,000, and that'd be, let's say that'd be about 60 people ordering $100 a month. As a national director, you'd make your residual income, your check would be between $367 and $1,466. And then the next level is the executive director. If you help 3 of your friends become national directors, that gives you about $20,000 in volume each business period, and that'll give you a check of about $1,470 to $4,231. And then when you help 3 people become executive directors, that gives you $60,000 in volume, and that makes you a presidential director. And that generates income of between $3,834 and $11,805. And then if you help somebody in your downline, one of your legs, become a presidential director also, that makes you a bronze. And then your income goes to $6,387 to $15,440. And then if you help somebody in a second leg become a presidential director, that kicks your income up to $10,639 to $20,961. And if you help then somebody in a third leg become a presidential, that makes you a gold, and that spread is between about $27,000 and $31,000. And then when you have a presidential somewhere in each of your 4 legs, that makes you a platinum, and that income then averages between $53,000 and $106,000 every 28 days. And we have a bunch of friends here that have reached those levels, and they're paying less in taxes than I used to, probably than you do, because they qualify for all the tax benefits of being self-employed. So if this kind of thing makes sense to you, if your health is fine and you're good looking and you just want to make a lot of money, we can work with you on that. The product takers want to be left alone. They just want us to check in once in a while and make sure they're getting good results, and that's fine with us. But if you want to be a business builder, let us know, because we'll work with you every day if you want. Because we've done it. We know what it's like. We know how to get you there. And it certainly is amazing when you have time and financial freedom. So we hope to see you on trips like this. I'm not sure I personally would spend my money this way, but if Mannatech wants to take us on these excursions, and it's a wonderful vacation. My wife's with us, and my son and his wonderful wife, and so it's really wonderful, and it's a win-win situation. So check it out and get back to us.